Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You are watching us on PME Vidya channels from 6 to 12 and let me tell you that in a short while this session will be uploaded on our YouTube channel NCERT official as well. This session is our online training program on Internet of Things and mobile devices and its safety. This session is organized by CIET NCERT in collaboration with I4C, that is Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center under Ministry of Home Affairs, New Delhi. Now, today on day 5, we will be talking about cyber hygiene for mobile devices and IoT devices. This is a training program where you can also participate in the post-session activity and get yourself a certificate. Today, I will show you once again the complete process. The link will be open today because this is the last day of the session. And as I've told you in the beginning that this is live and interactive session, which means you can call us and you can also send us your emails. Our phone number is 8800440559. If you wish to write an email to us, we have a dedicated email ID for you and that is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. Now on day 5, where we will be talking about cyber hygiene for mobile devices and IoT device, what exactly the contents are going to be. For the same, we have our expert with us. We are joined by Ms. Nisha Pandey. Ma'am is professional ecosystem expert from I4C, Ministry of Home Affairs, New Delhi. Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to the session.
Namaskar.
Ma'am, this is a kind of last day of the session and a very important topic to be covered because unless and until we talk about mobile hygiene, we won't be able to complete this training program, which is also an awareness program for the people to keep themselves safe from various IoT threats. I also have a few questions for you that I'll be taking in the end. But before you start, I request you to kindly offer a glimpse of what exactly we are going to cover in session today.
Yes. So in today's session, we will cover about mobile devices, what are the risks which are involved in mobile devices, which are directly linked with IoT devices, and what are the safety measures we have to follow whenever we are using IoT devices. The next, as we move forward with the presentation, we will be also discussing about the summarization of how to be safe in this digital era with respect to mobile devices and IoT devices. Next, we will also discuss about what happens if you are a victim and how to report, what is the facility, what are the features which I4C MHA provides, as well as we will wind up with our social media handle CyberDost. We have an interesting quiz also for you at last. So this will be the flow of the presentation.
Thank you so much for sharing the same. It's quite interesting and we'll look forward to the session now. So ma'am, now I request you to kindly go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, thank you. So as I'm Nisha Pandey, professional ecosystem expert from Ministry of Home Affairs under I4C. So as you all see that we are living in the era of digitalization. So it's the responsibility of every individual to develop a safer cyberspace around us. So that is also the vision and motive of I4C, that we create a safer cyberspace for the citizens of India. Not only this, our main aim is also to have a prevention, detection, investigation and prosecution of the cybercrime in the country. So as we move forward, I'll just start my presentation with about cyber hygiene. So we'll just have a little bit discussion about personal hygiene. Like as a humans, we always take care of our personal hygiene, like following a hygiene routine, doing some exercises, grooming ourselves, maintaining a hygiene environment, eating healthy food. All these are very crucial parameters to live a long and a healthy life. And we follow it on a day-to-day basis. Or we can say it's a part and parcel of our life. In the same way, cyber hygiene should also be the part and parcel of everyone's life. And it should be practiced regularly. It should be not like that, okay, today I'm following cyber hygiene with respect to my digitalization or with respect to the digital gadgets that I'm using. Another day I just forgot about all those things. So if we are very much aware about cyber hygiene, but the problem lies is we don't follow it proactively, and that is why we become a victim of the cyber criminals or the cyber frauds which are happening at an alarming situation. And poor hygiene leads to very crucial, very vulnerable things in our life. We can not only lose our financial, it will not only lead to the financial fraud, but it can also have the, we can say, reputational damage or a potential breach to our data. All these leads to a very bad impact on our life. So that has to be maintained and have to be followed on a day-to-day basis. So that's why cyber hygiene is a very important and crucial part of any person. Now coming on to the next slide, it's about like uh, what is the importance of cyber hygiene. So the major important is, as you can see on the screen also, that if we follow proper cyber hygiene or an online security with respect to our ecosystem, we will be able to protect our sensitive data as well as our personal information. Then we will be also safeguarding our business operations and reputations, and all those, if we follow all those things in our day-to-day life, we will definitely will be preventing ourselves from financial losses or any legal consequences that we have to face down to the line if we become a victim or we are in a trap of cyber criminals. So this is a basic a scenario that what is the importance of cyber hygiene or online security in today in the digital era, and why every person should follow that. What is the importance of that? And what are the primary factors that constitutes the cyber hygiene? So if you can see here are top 5 factors that we have and everyone should practice that. Like it's the bare minimum requirement that everyone should practice all these in whatever way they are using their applications, their mobile devices, their laptops, their gadgets, their, or not at only home, not at only for personal use, but also for professional use also. So you should always have a strong password management. You should always regularize your software, or whatever the updates which are keep coming up, that should always be maintained. Safe browsing and email practice is should be a part and parcel of your life. Network security also plays a very vital role at organizational level, and data backup and recovery. It is also very much important, which we usually ignore. But we should not ignore any of these 5 steps whenever we are talking about the cyber hygiene or the primary factors which constitute the cyber hygiene. Now, like this session is more about IoT devices, Internet of Things, and mobile devices. So, whenever we talk about Internet of Things, we always talk about mobile devices, because every IoT device, like, are indirectly linked to a mobile device. Like if you are switching on off light, if you are controlling your AC or your refrigerator or your washing machine, even your watch, we ultimately download some application in our mobiles, and then we control through that application. So that's why it is very important to focus on mobile devices cyber hygiene. Like as you can see that there are so many devices that we are using in our day-to-day life, like smart watches, or we can take wearables that we, because we usually have moved from like normal watches to a digital watch. If you see around yourself, most of the people are having digital watches or the smart watches, irrespective of the old traditional watches. So why it is so? It is only so because it's coming like they are first, like as the name says, they are smart to use and they provide you with so much of advanced technology features. So everyone wants to be in their life, but we we should use that, we should use them, but we should also be very much careful about their technology, and very much careful about what are the vulnerabilities that we are like welcoming at our door or in our life while using those devices. And like vulnerabilities are what they can enter into your life or through your smart devices. Why I'm using the word life? Because ultimately, if you are a victim or if you are a trap of such things, your day-to-day life also impacts. In the same way as we have discussed about the personal hygiene, if you get diagnosed with any of the disease, it hampers your lifestyle. In the same way, this also, if we don't practice cyber hygiene, it hampers our life indirectly. Now, the vulnerabilities that can enter is all these things comes under the categories of vulnerabilities, and we should be very much careful about all those things. Now, what are the practices? The first practice, as we have already discussed, and I have given you the 5 best factors, we will just elaborate a little bit, like use strong password and authentications. Normally, I have seen, and we have noticed also that people use same passwords for all of their profile, whether it's their email, whether it's their Facebook or WhatsApp or any other devices which are password which require passwords. So we should not have a practice of using the same password everywhere. First and the foremost thing, and the password that we are using should be quite unique and strong enough. They should not be very easy, which are predictable. Like they should not be your birthdays, or they should not be anything which can be guessed very easily, or which are related to any of the domain, anything which is your information which is available in the public domain. You should refrain from using that kinds of password for any of your profile, whether it's your mobile device, whether it's your email, whether it's your IoT, like we have a smart home concepts everywhere. So whatever things which we are connected to in which we are connected to the digital medium, it
Yes.
also protects the data a lot, because encryption, like we all know that WhatsApp provides end-to-end encryption, and we believe that also a lot. And we find it that WhatsApp is a platform which might be a safer platform to communicate, to share some personal data or some secure or some confidential data. So, like if if taking apart the example of WhatsApp, we should also practice certain things in our life, that whatever the data we are storing, protecting, it should be encrypted within the device. Again, your software update is very much necessary, because whenever we are receiving any a new software update comes, those patches gets removed up. So if you don't have a practice, or if you don't have that cyber hygiene practice in your life, that you ignore updates which are popping up in a form of notification in your mobile phones or in your laptops or any other gadget that you are using, we normally ignore them. We don't realize that might be that software update might can remove some of the vulnerabilities of the applications which I am using in my phone or any other device. Last, like fourth point I have mentioned, it's about trusted security application. It is very much important, and it is like one of the entry points of the I can say vulnerabilities entering into your devices, because we randomly Google or surf anything from Google, whatever the applications we require, we download them, and we don't take care whether it is phishing in nature, or that APK are taking what kind of permissions. So whatever the applications or security apps that we are downloading, we should always download from a trusted platforms. Avoid using public Wi-Fi, because in the news also, if we see that juice jacking, it's a kind of a threat which has which attacked or which become a very like a big cyber threat, in which like people are using public Wi-Fi and their sensitive data or their personal data got hacked. So whenever we got those freebies, or that like whatever the freebies which are coming to us, we have the tendency of using them, but we don't analyze that what how it can tamper my device. So we should always avoid those public Wi-Fi's, especially for the sensitive transactions. If you are doing any transactions with respect to your like financial things, internet banking you are using, don't like join your phone with a public Wi-Fi and back up your data regularly, because these are devices, and they can be also, they have also their life, whether they are maintained or not. And once if you lost your phone, or if due to some hardware damage, or due to the software damage, if the device is not working and if you don't have backup, so your sensitive data might be get lost, and you might not be able to gain that access. So that is why the best mobile practices we should follow, keeping all those 6 points, majorly 6 points, in the mind. So the next thing is about risk of IoT devices. So what is the risk of IoT devices is, like we have already like I guess all the users who are like joined today in this session have a very good knowledge about IoT devices, and it's a long week series about IoT devices. As we all know that in the era of digitalization, devices like smart homes, your cameras, your wearable, your smart appliances, your music, even IoT is everywhere, whether it's in the field of agriculture, whether it's in the field of, if you just see at organizational level, at individual level, or it's expanding like at a very larger scale. So whenever a new things, or whenever something which is already existing have a boom in our day-to-day life, it always comes with some vulnerabilities, and we as a user should also have, like in the screen, like you have seen, see, I have taken a image of Alexa. It's an image which is taken from an Amazon, and it's like I was searching the IoT devices, and I got to know that this is the most purchased device by that Amazon website, and people are using Alexa a lot, and it is also one kind of a IoT device, and like it's a it's a home for so many Indians or so many individuals. So whenever we are using Alexa, it's like it's responding to us in a very good manner, but we don't know like what vulnerabilities it is also having inside this inside that, or what are the vulnerabilities that we are inviting at our door while buying the Alexa. So whenever you, it's not that you don't use Alexa, but you have to be using all the devices, and you have to check for the regular updates. We don't check, like if I ask generally a question in the session, like most of the people buy routers or they have their Wi-Fi connection at home. So whenever they have got, they I don't think merely you update your routers, or just ask whatever the from the operator from where you are buy the router, whether its updated version is available in the market or not, what is its like specification. We don't take care about all the things. We just say that okay, my speed is coming good, I'm using it, my day-to-day task is going on, and we don't think about those Wi-Fi routers, which are a physical device connected at our place, and what kind of vulnerabilities through router it's coming at our door, we are not aware. So that is a very bad like cyber hygiene practice. It's come under the category of poor hygiene practice. We should not do that, and we as an individual have a very good knowledge about cyber hygienes, but we don't practice it, and it should be practiced regularly. So that is a risk of IoT devices. And now how you can, again the next slide is about how you can protect from the risk. You protect the IoT devices, your IoT devices which are connected at your home or at your offices or wherever you are going. How you can protect those IoT devices, or what cyber hygiene practices you should follow in order to be safer in this era of digitalization. So that is about now the best practices for the IoT devices. It's again, you should change your default passwords. Yes, this is also a very good point. Like, and we normally ignore that point. The first tip: always change the default passwords. Like whenever you are buying a smart TV or any gadget at your home, and if that is coming with the passwords, or any application which is having an password inbuilt, or anything which is provided to you, we never change that password. We just use it and we just say, okay, I'll change it at some other point of time, and we forgot that. So that is also a very bad poor hygiene practice. You should change the default password as well as it's come under your jurisdiction, or as a or you are using for yourself. Now regular firmware updates, it's also very much required, because it will fix your security vulnerabilities which are there, which are already available in your IoT devices. So all that needs to be fixed. It's a similar kind, like what if, like in our bodies, if we do certain kind of test and some deficiency is coming, so what we doctor suggests us some multivitamins or some whatever the tonics, and we take that tonic and we start recovering, or our body gets start healing. Now imagine a scenario if we don't go for a test on a regular basis, and if that disease becomes a very big, converts into a very bigger disease, and then it might take a longer time to heal, or it might sometime it can be, if ignored for a longer period of time, it can be a life threatening also. So in the same manner, I'm just correlating the things so that the picture becomes more clear. In the same manner, we should regularly follow the firmware updates with these devices. Network segmentation, we should always have a separate IoT isolated networks to limit the potential breaches. Why it is so? Because you see, like millions or billions of IoT devices are connected at the same time through so many applications. Now, if we are using the same network, or our IoT devices is also in the same network, then it will be a very if somebody has attacked that network, or some data breach has happened, or any malicious activity has happened, then what happens? Again, that vulnerability or that data breach or any attack can enter through the network in your IoT devices also. So we should practice that and try to maintain network segmentation. Next is use always secure communication protocols, which is already being discussed in the previous sessions, that what are the secure communication platforms and how they can help out. Disabled unused features, like if you are not using most of the features, like for if you don't require camera to be open every time, if you don't require your voice recognition commands to be on when for your IoT devices when you are not at home, you can it's not required to be turned on those commands every time. They can be switched off by a particular person who is controlling that IoT device whenever or whatever time it is required. Monitor and audit devices. So we should usually regularly check for unusual activity. If your IoT devices is behaving in an unusual manner, we should always check about that. That is a kind of a red flag, which is uh, which is telling you that okay, now it's the time to take some steps. And so don't ignore that red flags which are popping out, or which are giving you an alarm that this has to be done now. So these are the best practices for IoT devices. So far we have discussed about like why mobile devices, and what are the best practices for mobile devices, how IoT device, which is a very beautification thing, making a home smart, making our lives very smart, user smart, and but when with smartness you should always follow the best practices of IoT security, so that you can be very much like away from any of the cyber threats or any of the uh, unwanted vulnerabilities should enter into your life with respect to the IoT devices which we are using. The next is about securing both mobile and IoT devices. Now, in this, I have just illustrated some of the real case studies, like how the attacks has happened, and if you see that, like IoT's attacks are also not new. They are also from like given an example of a botnet attack which exploited large number of users, and mobile device phishing attacks in which somebody impersonating has impersonated a bank application and have stolen the user credentials. So these things comes from where? Only when we as a user at individual level or at organizational level don't take the vulnerabilities, or they don't follow the cyber hygiene protocols or the steps that needs to be followed each and every time whenever we are into the world of smart digitalization. And educate yourself. Education is very much important, like through the sessions, through awareness, through whatever the means of medium you are learning. You should always be updated with respect to the technology which is there in the market. We are very much like if we discuss, we are very much aware about what are the new products which are coming. Like if I'm take an example, recently iPhone 16 launched. So there is a huge line at all the stores. People are buying 16. So as a user, as a person, like we are very much aware about the products which are coming into the market. But at the same time, we should always be aware about the technicalities, or like what are the specification that device is having. It's not about the camera pixels, or not about the picture quality, or not about the sound quality. It's the specifications is beyond that also. So we, whether you are a technical person, whether you are a non-technical person, you should always read about the specifications, read about the patches, what iOS system it is having, what Android iOS, if you are a user of Android mobiles, what Android iOS it is there, which iOS it is using, which kind of Snapdragon, which chip is my mobile is integrated with. So all these things you should be aware, and you should read what the company is providing. It's not only with the mobile devices, it comes with all the gadgets which are available, especially with respect to the IoT devices. Why? Because again I'm telling, it's a medium where you are controlling a billions of devices in a common ecosystem. And if one device is being affected, billions of devices get affected, and it is very difficult scenario to control or to minimize that attack at a very shorter period of time. Next is multi-factor authentication. It is also very much important, like almost all the platforms. If we see about WhatsApp, if we see about email, Gmails, or if we see about the government email IDs, every platform is integrated nowadays with multi-factor authentication, and we should enable them. Now, let's suppose if somebody is also having your like an IoT devices also come with that feature. Now, if somebody knows your password, he or she enter your password. But if multi-factor authentication is on, despite knowing your password, the same person cannot enter into your application or into your account unless and until that person does not get the OTP or the authentication from the user who is the owner of that account. So that is the thing we should practice it. We should not ignore that. Okay, what is multi-factor authentication? I don't require that. No, it should not be in our nature. And we should, like, unified security strategies is also very much important, because if we talk about global security or a global security parameters in IoT devices, it's still on a working phase. There should be some standardization process which should come up. So whenever it comes, however, they have standardized certain things, but still a work has to be done on that because technology advances at a very faster pace. So with that, standardization protocols also needs to be like reworked or remodified. So in the same manner, that thing is still happening. It's still on the papers. But how we can, as a user, we should not wait about all those things. We as a user should integrate whatever things which are possible from our end with respect to the security policies which comes from both mobile as well as IoT devices. So next is about our how to respond to the breach. Now, we have already talked about how you have to be safer. Now, let's see a scenario in which if you are already a victim, if something has like vulnerabilities or a cyber attack has already happened or your IoT device is already being compromised. So, what are the steps? Immediate step you should take at your home, or like uh, the first thing steps are you should immediately disconnect the device from the network from which it is attached. You should always change your passwords or the accounts or the applications which are linked to that IoT devices. And then, if possible, you can check for an unauthorized activity, like why it has happened, with which mode it has happened. Some virus has hit, or something other thing has happened, and then following all these things, we should like contact some cyber security expert or some cyber or some customer care support or any other contact support which is required. So these are the things we should respond promptly whenever some security breaches happen with respect to the IoT devices as well as with any other scenario.
Right.
Now, no, this is the takeaway. Like just a summarization slide. Like what are the things that we have to follow, and how the best practices. Like what are the major key takeaways, and how we should be protected in our with respect to the IoT devices. Now, the next slide is about moreover about now if you are a victim, we as a organization or as an individual level don't want that every person should be a victim of any kind of a fraud or any kind of the thing which is happening in the in our ecosystem wherever whatever we are using. So, but if you are a victim, now what are the steps that you have to follow? The first thing is you can report if you are a victim of financial fraud. So you can register a complaint. It's the dashboard of our portal www.cybercrime.gov.in. Not only you can register a financial fraud complaint, I just want to clear one thing here, that 1930 is not only one of our tasks of cybercrime portal. We have also have a very good facility about suspect data, in which you can report the suspect under this category, and I have like shown you the tab wise manner. In this you can report suspect, and what can be reported here, like any malicious thing, any thing which you see in your day-to-day life, and you think that it is like it is not good for the society, for the it should not go into the public domain, or anything which you are receiving in your phone or through your gadgets or through your emails, which is suspicious in nature, you can report to us. uh, and it can be anything like WhatsApp, through WhatsApp, if any deepfake video is there, if any call that you are receiving with international number, you can take a screenshot of that and can submit here. So it's a kind of a repository that we are building, and if already that number is flagging up, you will be able to show that already it is reported by so many users. And if it is not so, you can submit it as a new. So this is a very good benefit of having a suspect repository, irrespective of the financial fraud and 1930. So that is one of the things which you should practice. So you just can see the what comes the category. It's URL, WhatsApp number, phone numbers, email IDs, and it's a social media URL, any deepfake video, any SMS headers. Like what, whenever we receive some kind of SMSs which can create that today is the last date, your electricity bill will be pay your electricity bill, otherwise your electricity will be cut, your connection will be disabled. So if you are receiving anything which you find it suspicious, you can submit that SMS header or a SMS URL, and it can be like reported here. So that is also a facility which is provided. uh, and I want to tell to all the users who are like have a practice of reporting, because the more you report, the more you are raising awareness indirectly for the citizens and for yourself. The
Right.
next is about what all can be reported. It's a very good thing which is very much clear, that all these things can be reported here. Next is about our resources. So we are raising awareness not only with our social media handle, whose the glimpse of which I'll show you in the further session of the presentation, but we also upload a cyber digest, cyber awareness material, cyber safety tips on a regular or some update that on a regular basis. Daily Digest is a very good initiative by I4C MHA, and it should be read by all the like it should be practiced or read by all the individuals. Why it is so? Because it will give you the awareness, like what kind of through which latest modus operandi the crimes are happening, how much people are losing their money, and how much uh, at which location, through which modus operandi the crime is happening, and what is their flow of doing a crime. So that you can also read. It is available in a public domain. It can be
Right.
that is a thing that we are also like doing for the sake of the society.
Right.
And call 1930 helpline number. If you are a victim of financial fraud, you should do that. So this is a very good thing, cyber dost. It's a social media handle. It's a prominent presence on all these social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube. We are on WhatsApp, Telegram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So I request everyone to follow that, because it's a platform through which again you will get an awareness tips. Like you can see in the screenshots also. Like we have, if you see in the screenshot which is available, which is from like displaying on your screen, it's more of about loan app. So in this we have taken a screenshot and shown to the user that these are the fake loan apps available in the market. So whenever these are the fake loan apps, and I should not like I should not use those loan apps if I want to take a loan, or if I want to suggest any other person to take a loan,
Right.
because these are all phishing in nature. They might take certain permissions from your phone, most of the permissions, and then they can like attack you. And
Absolutely.
this is a thing which through which you are very much aware. So
Yes.
this is a kind of an example which my message is to clear to the users that how we are raising awareness, and we are moreover our main focus is to moreover focus on the real life, like real evidences that we get from our NCRP portal, and report that to the users in that this is the IDs, these are the URLs, or these are the applications which are fake in nature, or this is how the digital arrest is happening, cyber slavery, investment scam, how people are
True.
losing crores of money in investment scam, how what are the fake trading applications which are available. So
Absolutely.
all those things which we make awareness. In the same manner, if we talk about the IoT devices and also or mobile devices, so we update regarding that also in our cyber doors. So this is the Git initiative by MHA, and it is a very good social media handle which should be followed and which should be again, it's also a good cyber hygiene
Yes,
tip
you're right.
to
Yeah,
to take
ab-
to follow and to at least have a look over cyber those once in a while or
true.
once in a day,
It
so
is
that we
very,
are aware about it.
yeah, it is very important, ma'am, and definitely you have explained everything in such detail that there are no questions left, but still we have received a few questions from the audiences, and I request you to kindly answer them in brief as we do not have enough time left. It's kind of a summary of what you have already shared with us. So, somebody's asked that why it is necessary for IoT devices to have a good, hygiene practices, why we must be having it. So, very quickly if you can answer that.
Yeah, sure. So why it is important? So it's like as you have told that like I'll just summarize. It is important to have the like cyber hygiene for the IoT devices, because IoT devices are also an entry of so many vulnerabilities, so many attacks. They can also have an attack or cyber attacks. Uh, are also a victim of cyber attacks. So if we are not following the cyber hygiene tips, which I have illustrated in the session,
Yeah.
we are welcoming all those threats into our home indirectly.
Absolutely. And how often we must follow the cyber hygiene? Like every time when we log on to a new website or we do some transaction, or as such also we have to make certain settings in our mobile phones or laptop devices or IoT devices. So how often we should be doing this?
Yeah, so again, I'm repeating, cyber hygiene should be the part and parcel of your life. It should not be like that. Today I'm a cyber hygiene person, the next day I'm not. It's the same way if we are
Yeah.
brushing our teeth regularly in the morning and in the night. That is the same way. If we follow, we have a routine, we will be very much like we will be in an ecosystem where we
Yes.
are not in the area of cyber criminals, and we can protect ourselves from cyber frauds.
Like mobile devices have become an integral part of our attire, similarly, practicing cyber hygiene should be an integral part of our daily routine. Like we exercise, we eat, we must maintain the cyber hygiene also, like we maintain hygiene of our own self. And very quickly, when something happens, how instantly, or I would say immediately, a person should report it to the concerned authority.
Yes, so that is very important. So if something with respect to financial fraud it happens, you should firstly call at 1930, and if not picked up due to because some technicality issues, you can report. There is a platform cybercrime.gov.in, and our portal is not only for reporting. We also have the suspect repository facility, which I have illustrated in the PPT. You
Right.
should use that. So it is also a very because more the people report, more will be the awareness with respect to the suspect repository that we are creating for the citizens.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am. With that, we have reached the conclusion of this online training session, and you explained things in such a detail. Everything was, explained in such an organized manner that, seriously, no questions left. But thank you for answering these questions, and that too so swiftly and so nicely. We appreciate your contribution to our session. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Namaskar.
Namaskar. And now viewers, it's time for me to wrap up this session over here. Yes, we conducted this session on day 5 for cyber hygiene for mobile devices and IoT device. Well, that was the theme, and it was conducted in turn under the umbrella theme of Internet of Things in mobile devices and its safety. So now, as I was telling you in the beginning, you can participate in the post-session activities. So let's have a look at the website from where you can access all the details and how to go about it. So, you already know, I am repeating myself here, ciet.ncert.gov.in is the website. Go to the activities section in this home page of ours and click on workshop and training. On this option, Scroll down and click on this current activity of online training of Internet of Things. Here you will find a complete write-up, why we are conducting this training, what are the objectives and who all can participate. This training session is open to all. Here's the entire schedule, what all topics we took during these days, and if you scroll down a bit more, you will find the program schedule in detail along with the name of the resource persons and whatever programs or sessions have been conducted. They have been uploaded on our YouTube channel NCERT Official. Here are the links, and day 5, it means today's session will be uploaded soon. And now how to participate. First of all, register yourself, click this link or scan this QR code. Secondly, I'm sure you must be watching all the sessions very carefully. Thirdly, you have to take up the online course, and here is the entire information. Click on this link and it's open now or will be in a short while. Of course, here are the details, and if you score more than 70%, you will get yourself a certificate that you can download from a Diksha portal. And last but not the least, you have to submit your feedback, because unless and until you tell us what all we can improve upon our training sessions or what new content we can bring for you, we won't be able to present the same to you. So submit your feedback, click on the link or scan this code, or you can write an email to us on training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. We keep on encouraging you to give us a call during the live sessions so that you can connect with our experts directly. And that's all about this session now. Absolutely it is important to pay attention to what we are presenting, because these sessions are in your interest. So now it's time for me to tell you about the schedule, what's coming ahead. So let's take a look. Yes, in a short while from now, you can watch our session Sahyog, and at 5:30 we will bring you a session on school leadership and development. So do watch these programs, and the list is there. You can all watch all these programs that you've been watching through the day. Now it's time for me to present you the last segment. Yes, very important. Something about All India Children's Educational E-Content Competition. Well, it is back for the year 2024-25, and we invite teachers, teacher educators, students and independent educational e-content creators to submit their best e-content for the competition. For further details of the registration form, please visit the activities section of our official website www.ciet.ncert.gov.in, or you can scan the QR code that is there on this screen. The final date for submission is going to be 31st of December 2024. With this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you, but please stay tuned for more educational programs on our different streaming platforms. Namaskar.